ultimately through my work, I want to get people closer to Christ. Yes, I'm in the life insurance space, but more importantly, I've had the last handful of months, I've gone through a huge transition, returning back to Christ, and that has ultimately led me to this point and showcasing how the line of work I'm doing, which is insurance, is biblical, and I want people to look at it from that lens opposed to just the financial component to it. Hey guys, this is Chris from the Hidden Reserve, and in today's presentation, today's video, I specifically want to talk about how the Bible ties into life insurance. And for me personally, as of recording this, I'm fairly new on my walk with Christ, and the more and more I dive into the Bible, the more I see how life insurance fits into a lot of the biblical principles that are in the Bible, and we'll be covering that in this video. So, title of this video today is Biblical Stewardship and Life Insurance Providing, Protecting, and Planning all for the Glory of Jesus. So first up here, providing for your family is a God-given duty. So in Proverbs 13:22, it says, "A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children." Now, there's obviously, from a financial perspective, there's many ways to accomplish this, but the one that we're going to be focusing on is life insurance. You know, life insurance is a practical, powerful way to fulfill this biblical principle. Number one, it provides for your family when you pass away. So there's a death benefit that is passed on to your family, income tax free. It's very powerful. Number two, it protects your legacy. And number three, it blesses generations to come. So not just your children, but your children's children, your grandkids, if you have any, if it's set up the right way and you're smart and a good steward of those resources, or your family's a good steward of those resources. So that's the first verse that really stood out to me in the Bible that applies to life insurance. Next up, we got God's call to provide. So from 1 Timothy 5:8, "But if anyone does not provide for his relatives, and especially for members of his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever." So how life insurance ties into this verse here is it's a tangible way to ensure that your family is cared for. So again, life insurance is just one of many tools out there that can fulfill this. And specifically with whole life insurance, that's a guaranteed way to know that your family is going to be taken care of, because with that, it lasts your whole life, no pun intended. So when you pass away, you know that your family is going to be taken care of from that death benefit. Next here I have, it makes sure debts aren't passed down. So one of the use cases of that death benefit payout is you can use a portion of that to pay off debts. Your family can use a portion of that to pay off debts. Number three is your faith is backed by action. So by implementing a life insurance policy, that's not fear, that's being diligent, it's planning, and it's showing more faith because you're actually putting that plan into place and knowing that, okay, if something happens to me, my family is going to be taken care of. So that's really, really powerful there. Next up, I want to go over stewardship versus speculation. And I want to put an asterisk here. Like, I'm not anti-investing. I personally invest in crypto, so that's the complete opposite of life insurance. But for this specific verse, and I'll dive into it, it's going to show the importance of not speculating and having something that's solid and concrete in your plan. So this verse here, Proverbs 21:5 says, "The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty." So whole life insurance is a great way to plan diligently because it's based on guarantees, not guesswork. It's not hype, it's not flashy like of other investments out there. It's not an investment, it's an asset that ensures that it's there for your family when it's needed most, when you pass away. So whole life fulfills that. And then another thing with whole life insurance and how it aligns is, it falls in the category of you're managing risk and you're not chasing riches, because whole life is not, again, it's not a flashy thing, but it is something that's stable, it's predictable, and it will be there for your family. And I put down here below, which is something important to touch on, is stewardship is slow and steady and secure. It's not this fast thing. And speculation is fast, flashy, and often empty. And crypto is something that I'm involved with, but that's often something where a lot of people see it as this flashy, get rich quick thing. And life insurance, specifically whole life, is the complete opposite of that. So important to tie, that's important to tie all of that into Proverbs 21:5. Next up, I call this a legacy of love, and this goes off of Proverbs 27, which states, "The righteous who walks in his integrity, blessed are his children after him." So your integrity today creates options and opportunity for your children tomorrow. So one of the ways to fulfill that is by implementing a life insurance plan. So that's you being smart and implementing something not selfishly for yourself, but for your family. So when you pass away, they're taken care of. The death benefit of the policy, that's one of the biggest ways that policy is going to provide peace and stability for your family, because the last thing you want is your family to be grieving over your loss and then not having the financial means to stay afloat, cover funeral expenses, debts, etc. So that death benefit is super, super powerful from the life insurance policy, and not to mention it's income tax free as well. So second point here, it allows your children to grieve without financial chaos. So again, like if your family's grieving over your loss, the last thing that you want is them to be worried about finances in addition to that. Then the third thing I put here is it ensures that your values and vision live on. So with that death benefit payout, it can not only cover your family and help them out, but you could have additional money left to give to your church or some other cause that's really important to you. You have those funds to be able to make those decisions if you have it set up that way. Or you could use it beyond donating and tithing to your church or a cause. You can use it to help kids' college, weddings, things of that nature, bigger ticket items. Next up here, financial protection is wisdom, not fear. And again, another verse from Proverbs. So Proverbs 21:20 states, "In the house of the wise are stores of choice, food and oil, but a foolish man devours all he has." So and how this ties into life insurance is that life insurance is like a shield, much like Christ shields us in life. And God gives us wisdom not to fear death, but to plan with hope. And that's where having a life insurance plan comes into play. And then the third thing I put here is it gives you permission to spend knowing it will be replenished. So what I mean by that is when you have a life insurance policy in place, specifically a whole life, because it's guaranteed and it lasts your entire life, knowing that when you pass away, there's going to be a death benefit, money left to your family, that gives you the peace of mind and permission to spend down other funds that you have, other investments, because I'll give you an example. Let's say you have $1 million in investments and $1 million death benefit payout. You know that, okay, I could spend down my investments, the money that I saved up, for during retirement, for example, and you have the peace of mind knowing, okay, I can spend that down, and when I pass, that $1 million is going to be replenished from the death benefit of the life insurance policy to go to my family. So that's really, really powerful, really powerful. And that's why, or another aspect as to why having life insurance in place is just gives you more options at the end of the day. The next here I have multiplying what God entrusts. So from Matthew 25, the parable of talents, how life insurance ties into this is just like the servant who multiplied the talents, we are called to grow and protect what God gives us. And a lot of this is tying into the death benefit of the life insurance policy, but also we can touch on the cash value of a whole life policy that multiplies your money because you're getting a guaranteed rate of return on your money inside the policy. And also, if you're with a mutual carrier, I have other videos talking about this, you get dividends from the carrier. So you put money in your policy and it's guaranteed to grow. And that's just another example, or tying it into this, the parable of the talents, how you can multiply your money. And then I put here, whole life grows your money predictably, safely, and also allows you to leave a legacy for your family and future generations. So that predictability and safety part, that is based on the guarantees of the contract, like I touched on, and then the legacy for your family and future generations, that's specifically talking about the death benefit component of the policy. So next up here I have, it's not just about you. And in Philippians 2:4 it states, each of you should look not only to your own interests, but also to the interests of others. And tying that into life insurance, it isn't just for you, it's for the people that you love most. And specifically with a whole life contract, a whole life policy, the way I look at it at least is the cash value is more for you. You're going to utilize that cash value while you're alive to do investments like buying real estate, investing in a business, etc. And then that death benefit component, that's not for you. That's going to be passed down to your family, your children, your children's children, etc. So that's how I really differentiate those two components of the policy. And then I put here, life insurance allows you to give, tithe, and fund ministries and causes even after you're gone. So again, that's where the death benefit's so powerful, because it can be enough to take care of your family, make sure they're all set, and also you have money left over to give to churches, ministries, etc. And then the third thing I put here is ultimately life insurance. It's another tool. It's a tool out there that can be used to bless your family and others for generations to come. Next up here, Jesus Christ is the ultimate protector, okay? John 15:13 states, greater love has no one than this, that someone laid down his life for his friends. Christ has given his life to protect us eternally. And side note, like that's the ultimate insurance right there, is knowing that if we turn to Christ, we have eternal salvation through him and him only. And that's so powerful. Next I put we reflect his love when we take steps to protect those entrusted to us. Again, life insurance is just one example of showcasing that, because we're putting a plan in place that's not going to just benefit us, it's more so going to benefit our family and those that we're taking care of, our churches, ministries, etc. And then lastly here, life insurance protects when it matters most and provides when you no longer can. So when you pass away, you know that your family is going to have those funds to take care of them, your church, your community, and then obviously, well past you're gone, if that money's invested wisely, stewarded properly, it can continue to multiply and take care of generations to come. And the last point, or the last slide I want to cover here, is leaving a Christ-centered legacy. So in Proverbs 10:7 it states, the name of the righteous is used in blessings, but the name of the wicked will rot. And life insurance isn't about fear or fortune. It's about faithful preparation that blesses others long after you're gone. And side note on that, I'll see a lot of people say like they don't need life insurance, but in my opinion, life insurance is important because not only does it tie in, to all these verses we've been talking about, but it's something that we're all going to face. Like we're all guaranteed to die at some point. Why not guarantee or insure rather the thing that it's guaranteed to happen? We have all these other insurances, auto insurance, homeowners insurance, phone insurance, etc. And none of those things are guaranteed to happen, but we're all guaranteed to die at some point. So might as well utilize that guaranteed event to benefit our families and our communities through life insurance policy. Second point I had here is life insurance about peace, provision, and passing on values, not just the wealth piece. And that's really important. There's a lot of principles that can be derived from life insurance, like patience. That ties into the whole life policy. Like that is something that you have to play the long game with. It takes a while to build up cash value. but in the long run, it will, produce powerful fruits if you stick with it. And then lastly here, I put use what God has entrusted you to care well for his people. So again, utilizing a life insurance policy is ensuring that everyone's taken care of in your family and those who are important to you, your community. So next up, planning for the unknown is biblical. So in Proverbs 27:1, it states, "Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring." And that is really important. None of us know what's going to happen next. We don't know when we're going to die. We don't know when certain things are going to happen. And that's where having a life insurance policy is very powerful, because again, it's that hedge, if you will, about the unknown. Like, we could wake up tomorrow, or not wake up tomorrow rather, and if we have this plan in place, it's this peace of mind knowing that our family is going to be taken care of no matter what. So and I put here for the first point that life insurance acknowledges the uncertainty of life. The next, planning doesn't mean fear, it's wisdom rooted in faith. So just because you have a life insurance plan in place, that doesn't mean that you're lacking in faith. It just means that you're preparing, and that's really, really important. And then I put the last thing here, above all, Jesus Christ is King and gives us eternal life. So aside from having a life insurance policy and all of that, like, the most important thing is that Jesus Christ is King, and if we follow him, put him first, have him as the only way to God, then we're going to have eternal life. And that is something that I've, within the recent months, have been really embodying, and I'm going deeper into it every single day. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I'm newer on my walk with Christ, and the more and more I dive into things, the more and more this just starts to speak to me and come even more alive. I really wanted to make this video to not only showcase how life insurance ties into a lot of different biblical principles throughout the Bible, but most importantly, just to share with you a little bit of where I'm coming from in my walk with Christ. And ultimately, through my work, I want to get people closer to Christ. Yes, I'm in the life insurance space. The content on this channel is focused on life insurance strategies, but more importantly, I've had the last handful of months, I have gone through a huge transition, returning back to Christ, and that has ultimately led me to this point, and why I put out so much content. And through my content, it would mean the most if just one person can see my transformation coming back to Christ and how much it's helped me. And if one person can, come back to Christ through that, then I'm good. All the videos I've been doing, all the content has been worth it. And I'm going to continue to make videos like this, really just tying in, my faith and how it's helped me, and showcasing how the line of work I'm doing, which is insurance, is biblical, and I want people to look at it from that lens opposed to just the financial component to it. So I hope this video resonates and has helped you see life insurance from a different lens, a biblical lens. And really the next step is, if you want to book a discovery call with me to learn more how life insurance can fit into your financial plan, and ultimately, how it can tie into, or how it can align with your values, book a call with me. I have a link in this description that takes you to a calendar. You can just book a day and time with me there, or you can shoot me an email. My email, as you can see on screen, it's hiddenreserves@gmail.com. But again, I'm going to continue to put more content out about how principles from the Bible tie into life insurance, and I'll tie in my personal story more with that as well. So again, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments or you can email me. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.